Witch and Wizard by James Patterson.
There's not much you need to know about me, besides the fact that most people call me Wit. I'm the older brother who's always keeping an eye out on my little sister. I'm quite protective of her, actually, but I could never figure out why my parents were always keeping a secret from us. Why couldn't they bother to tell us that we weren't just everyday run-of-the-mill children, but instead coming from a lineage of great magical practitioners and being able to cast spells? And I'm still trying to process this.
I never thought that I would see myself in the face of danger, nor did I consider myself anything besides the classroom miscreant. I could tell I was the kind of girl who sought trouble, but it never occurred to me that I would be kidnapped from my own home in the middle of the night. I knew that I, Wister Allgood, was different, but I never imagined being possessed with all these gifts. That would be the reason my brother, Wit, and I were labeled as freaks.
I feared of never seeing my parents again. The house that I grew up in, or even the bed that I slept in when I was really tired. I always considered myself to be the normal one of the family. Be as it may, I always knew my sister was a hothead, but I didn't think she was an actual hothead that could spit out fire and not be singed or harmed. And to make things even worse, Brian Swain, the guy who's been nothing more than a weakling in my eyes, was the reason these modern witch trials were starting up again. It's not like I already had 100 other problems with being a teenager, but come on, this was just ridiculous.
We had to leave the comfort of our home, leave behind our parents, who secretly had prepared us for this moment, in our somewhat normal lives, because of this being that people called the New Order. We never anticipated this, nor did we ever expect to be criminals for some oddball accusations. We were granted one personal item to bring with us. Mom hands me a drumstick as she holds back her tears and tries to give me one last hug, while Dad hands Wit a journal off the shelf. Within a short moment, we were dragged out in the middle of the night to some distant, unknown place. We were stripped of our identity. I even traded my comfy, fuzzy PJs and slippers for those nasty, icky gray bodysuits that had too long of sleeves to fit me. I never pictured jail as the kind of place for someone like Wit. He was too good of a person to ever be considered as threatening. He was protective of me, but he would never be the kind of person to pick a fight with.
I thought I was crazy for many things, but seeing my disappeared girlfriend Celia made this unseemly nightmare seem peaceful. I felt like my life was doomed. Everything I had done was meaningless to what was happening now. Standing before a judge, being accused of possessing magical powers, and everything else that seemed wrong made this taunting nightmare worse. I could see Celia as if she'd never left, as if she were standing right beside me. I could touch her face once again, look into her deep blue eyes, and stare at her once again.
We rode in the big black van through the night. Wit and I ended up at the psychiatric hospital. Maybe I was delusional at this point, and perhaps that's why I was here, to seek help for my problem. I remained smitten with the fear of never seeing my parents again, dealing with the uncontrollable bursts of flame coming from within, and spits of lightning bolts coming from my hands. My life was just spiraling downward, with one thing leading to another problem. I was treated like a cruel animal, forced to beg and whimper for my food, trying to get the attention of the people who viewed me as a threat, and was denied my freedom. Why me?
All I knew was one thing. Westy and I had each other, brother and sister. Together, we can conquer anything and bring down the New Order.